Let me do this. One last chance that I had to really maybe save God's chosen ones. This was my last shot. I'm getting ready to tell you right here. And this is the time where, and I've talked about this before, but I'm going to show the article and everything. This is the time where I almost got sued by Mike Tyson. I know that sounds crazy. But let me do this here. I want to go over this too. So, like I said, let me pull this up right here. So let me before I get into this, let me give you the context. So, like I said, this is my last shot. Let me switch back over here real quick. This was my last shot to save this organization. I link up with a group called Five Stones. And I want to just put this out there. This isn't to say that the people at Five Stones are bad folks. I want to say that these are good people. They do a lot of good work. You know, they are still running their organization and doing all kinds of good work, you know, and I just want to put that out there because I don't want this story to give the wrong idea of that, because this is all spilled milk. This is nothing that I have any resentment about. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. I don't really think so, but I'll let you be the judge of that. So, as again, like I say, this was my last shot. So I link up with this group, Five Stones, and they're a good group. At the time, they ran a program where they would help after school, you know, kids after school program type of thing, where they would help them with their homework, kind of get to know them. And then they would put them in the gym. They start showing them MMA and getting them going that way. So they were like a fight camp, you know, but it had a faith-based component to it, because they would have like church in the gym, you know, they would say. And so I linked up with this group. I had heard of them, and I started to reach out to this group and you know, just, you know, kind of getting involved with what they're doing, just kind of following their pages and stuff like that. They approached me. I don't know how really, either they approached me or I heard about it, approached them, one of the two, but we got word that they were getting ready to put together a big boxing event. And this boxing event, okay, was supposed to be star-studded. So it was going to be like an amateur pro night. So you're going to have a lot of amateurs there and some pros, but you were also going to have the old legends in attendance. They were going to bring out Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, Vinny Paz, Bobby Seale, Mickey Ward. I can't even remember. It's a bunch of them, you know, but the main attraction, of course, is Mike Tyson. If you don't really follow boxing like that, all you gonna really care about is Mike Tyson. You know, if you follow boxing, then you appreciate Riddick Bowe and all these guys. You know what I'm saying? But the main point of all of this was that Mike Tyson was gonna be there. That was the main selling point. So since Mike Tyson was gonna be there, I reach out or they reach out, whichever one happens first, whatever. But I wanted to be a sponsor. I wanted to get involved. I thought if I could get involved with this and I could get in front of Mike Tyson and show him what I'm doing, show him what what challenges we're having. Maybe they even not just to ask for money, not money. I'm saying maybe there's a connection. Maybe there's something, a hand I could shake that he could, you know. And so you got to imagine, I'm reaching for anything at this point. The writing's on the wall. Things are going bad right now for us. So I go to the church in the gym, the Five Stones, right? And I am there. I have my sponsorship money. I'm ready to be a part of this thing. I go up to At the end of service, I go up to the front of the gym or the church or whatever, I go up to the front where the pastor's standing up there. And the pastor is the leader of this organization as well. And we're talking about everything. This guy, Alan, walks up. And as we're standing there, Alan says to me, hey, yo, I just got off the phone with Mike Tyson. Right. And then, he's saying, what they're talking about, stuff like that. And then he says something like, oh, and he had to, all of a sudden he had to get going. He couldn't talk long. And because we're standing up there at the pastor, I tell him, I kind of lean over and I'm kind of whispering like, oh, he probably had to go smoke, because we all know Mike Tyson got his own weed and, all of that. So I'm leaning over saying that, right? And he says back to me, oh, hey, yeah, I got like an ounce in the back. We can go back and, and we're kind of whispering back and forth. But the pastor heard him walk up and say, hey, I just got off the phone with Mike Tyson. And keep that in mind. That's going to be an important point as we get into this. This is all just a setup for the context. So you know what's happening here. As we get closer to the event, so I leave my money there, we go through. As we get closer to the event, I'm putting this everywhere. I'm selling tickets. I'm putting, I'm putting this on my website. I'm putting this on all my social medias. I'm telling everybody, tell everybody, Mike Tyson's coming, and of course, if Mike Tyson's coming, people won't want to be there. That's just what it is. As we're getting closer to the event, I get hit with a notification that Mike Tyson has posted on his Instagram account that he has nothing to do with this event. Now, I'm hoping there's got to be a mistake. And I'm going there and I see this message. I wish I could pull the original message. I wish I could screenshot it or something. Because it just dropped. It was like a drop kick to the chest. And Mike Tyson is on there talking about, we don't have nothing to do with this event. And as I'm reading, I can't believe this, but this is real. So I'm trying to get in touch with the Five Stones, like, hey, what's going on? Then Penn Live drops the article. Now watch this. Penn Live drops the article. Mike Tyson's not coming. Writing's on the wall, right? Now let me read a little bit of this. Let me go to where. Okay, so check this out. So this is what he wrote. I remember it too. I know this is what he put on his Instagram too. If you follow along right here. Mr. Mike Tyson is not attending Fall Brawl in Palmyra, PA. That was the event. It was the Fall Brawl. It was in Palmyra, and has never discussed such attendance with anyone responsible for this event. All representations about my attendance are false. The first time he and his team were aware of this event was when press started to circulate. Mr. Tyson takes charity very seriously, and to misuse his name and likeness to willingly promote an event falsely misrepresenting his attendance to raise funds is irresponsible and unfair to patrons that have paid money expecting him to be there. His legal team is looking into this matter. Now, he put that on Facebook, and of course, Penn Live reaches out to, which you'll see right here, Five Stones, the CEO with Shane Manning. And he said that the gym's lawyer has turned over all the emails and contact information for the people who purported to be Tyson's intermediaries and with whom they had worked with to arrange Tyson's appearance at a planned Friday dinner and a Saturday 15-card amateur boxing event. Now, keep in mind that dinner, we were selling tickets to that. That was where I needed to be, because that's where you could just sit and talk with these guys. And that was going to be perfect for me to try to get some help with this. Now, Manny told Penn Live it turned out that the people the gym was working with to land Tyson did not actually represent him. We were scammed, Manny said Thursday morning. Unfortunately, I can't fix it. We don't want to lie to people. Now, that's the pastor that was standing up at the front of the church when this guy came up and said that he talked to Mike Tyson directly. Now, here's the issue with that. The problem with that is in this whole article, he didn't say, hey, the people, me and my sponsors didn't have nothing to do with this. He left it open-ended to where it could be assumed that our group was the one telling him this, because I was putting this all over the place. I was telling people for sure he's coming. And so, you know, he never came. And that was basically the nail in the coffin to GCO, the God's Chosen Ones, because once that event fell through, that was the last little bit of credibility I had was gone in that event. And maybe it was a misunderstanding somehow. But, you know, I would sink into a deep depression after that. We would have to close our doors not too long after that. Sank into a deep depression. I was even homeless. And you got to remember, you know, I was given a place to stay to homeless people, and how ironic it was that I would end up the one homeless. You know what I mean? But just like I once told others, you know, recovery is possible, you know, even from heartbreak, you know, because I was heartbroken. But I did find new purpose, man. I was able to get a job working with the local EMS service. And so I was in a position where I could still help people and still be a source of positivity to somebody. Became a medical transport specialist. And also still in school. We jumped in school a while back, but I'm still in school. Should be graduating next year. I just realized, you know, I'm not a businessman. You know, I'm a minister. I'm in ministry, you know, and ministry and business don't mix. It's like oil and water, because in business, you care about profit. In ministry, you care about the people. And one is going to take over. I appreciate being average today. Just a regular working person. I don't need to be the boss. You know, I don't need to be, and most of you don't either. So as of November 18th, 2025, God's Chosen Ones will officially close. It's been 7 years, but I'm looking forward to starting a new chapter. Along with that, I'm going to be, you know, cleaning up my Facebook. A lot of people on my Facebook are connected to my time at God's Chosen Ones, and I need to close that chapter. It's no diss to nobody. If you see me on the people you may know section and you see I unfriended you, just know that it's nothing personal. It's just I need to move on and move forward. And I want to focus on the people that I have in my life that, you know, I'm going to be moving forward with. And like I said, it's no diss. It's no disrespect or anything like that. It's just, you know, I want to move on from that, and I need to do that to heal. You know, to everyone we couldn't reach, I believe in you. I still believe there's a chance for you. And to Brandon Flood, thank you for showing me that redemption is real. The doors may close, but the mission still lives on. And every person we helped and every lesson I learned, It was never about the building. It was always about the people. So there's a lot more I could put into that story. I'll probably maybe do a part 2, get into some more of that.